unit? Sunho?
Variable cost.
Very nice. It's a variable cost and
direct material.
No, it's
or
not.
Manufacturing overhead.
Very nice. It's the manufacturing overhead. Leo, shipping cost?
Shipping is a variable cost.
Very nice. And it belongs to?
Period cost, maybe?
Selling, right? Selling, which is a period cost. And the last one is return earned on investment, because you liquidate that opportunity. That would be, I think, sunk cost. Why? Because now you cannot recover. You liquidated that one. You already sold that one. So I have also pasted here. No, sorry. Here we go. The opportunity cost, right? Sorry, my bad. So return that we forgone 3,000 to pay the salaries, that is opportunity cost. One thing that falls in 3 categories belongs to depreciation. Depreciation is, first of all, it's fixed, and then it's manufacturing overhead, and then depreciation is also called sunk cost. So let me just remove this one. Here we go. So if you compare all our results, is that only one is sunk cost, that is depreciation, right? So let's take a break, then we see our very nice learning video, how these decision makings, classification of cost, they can be used in practical scenario. And then we talk about our next slides and other stuff. So let's take a break and then we start again. Okay guys, welcome back after a short break. Okay, let's see a very short video regarding classifying cost for decision making in practical scenario. So this video is not more than 4 minutes. It's less than, I think, 3 minutes and I think a couple of seconds. So here we go.
They're divided into differential cost, opportunity cost, and sunk cost. A difference in cost between any two alternatives is a differential cost. These costs can be fixed or variable. For example, the decision to make or buy a part requires distinguishing between costs that differ between the two alternatives. In some cases, differences in revenue will also be examined. For example, deciding whether to accept a special customer order, which may not cover certain fixed costs.
We have to, as managers, think through each decision independently and identify which costs are relevant and which costs are not relevant for that decision. Now, if we design accounting systems correctly, we can get categories that are going to be more useful for that purpose, but it's still not going to be automatic. Managers are still going to have to think very carefully about what costs are relevant, which costs are not relevant before making a decision.
Part of decision-making involves consideration of the opportunity cost. The opportunity cost is the potential benefit that's given up when one alternative is selected over another. For example, the contribution margin lost from cutting back production of one product to make room for the production of another. Finally, there are sunk costs. A sunk cost is a cost that has already been incurred and it can't be changed by any decision made now or in the future. For Clorox, the sunk cost of a specialized piece of equipment used to produce a new product would not be a factor if it becomes necessary to choose whether or not to continue manufacturing the product.
So that's kind of a cost of doing business and their introduction of a new product. if the product turns out not to be successful, we've clearly defined what our sunk cost is, and we understand how that's impacted the organization.
However costs are classified, they are useful in understanding cost patterns, analyzing performance, and planning future operations. Ultimately, the decisions that a company must make dictates the method it uses for determining costs. A management accountant, like a good tailor, designs the cost accounting process that is best suited to the decisions made in his or her organization. Whatever the business, cost classification is based on how cost will be used, preparing external reports, planning budgets, and making decisions. When valuing inventories and determining expenses for the balance sheet and income statement, costs are classified as either product costs or period costs. Period costs are costs such as rent and administrative expenses, which are tied to a reporting period rather than a specific product. Product costs are raw materials, labor, and manufacturing overhead that can be traced to a product. To help management track and assess expenditures for planning and decision-making, costs are sorted into additional classifications. For predicting cost behavior, such as the impact of increasing output at a manufacturing plant, expenses are classified as variable or fixed. To assign costs to objects for pricing, profitability studies, and control of spending, costs are classified as direct or indirect. And finally, to help management compare alternatives, costs are further classified as differential, opportunity, and sunk. In the end, calculating costs isn't a cut and dried process. Managerial accountants must tailor internal and external reports to reflect each company's unique cost issues.
Okay, here we go. So I would be uploading my assignment number 1. So you can print the page and solve it, or I would be uploading this assignment in Word file. If you have ePen, you can use ePen to solve on the same Word file, or the other solution is you take a print and solve it. Remember, you cannot use a typewriter or keyboard or something, because I won't expect, because I need to be fair and just with every student. So submit assignment should be in MS Word. I already explained the reason why, because my pen is very handy in MS Word. I can check in PDF, but it takes more time. So respect the due date, plus rename your file accordingly. So first of all, your ID, and then your name, and then subject, and then assignment number. For example, your ID, and then your name, this managerial accounting, and then assignment 1, right? So the submission date is our next week, the same class on Wednesday, next Wednesday, right? Any question regarding our today's lecture?
No.
Okay, if no more question, then our class is finished. And remember, if you still have any ambiguity, you can write us in our WeChat group, and I will be happy to answer over there. I will be uploading my these assignments and PDF, and also uploading this lecture on the internet as well, and we'll be sharing you the links. Okay?
Okay. Have a good evening.
Okay. Take care.
Thank you.
Very nice weekend. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you.